I'm really excited to start this series on Florida probate. Probate is something that absolutely every single person in this country needs to know about, either because you're going to be the victim of probate or somebody around you, mom, dad, grandmom, is going to need probate. Now, my goal in doing this is to save you millions, hundreds of millions of dollars in attorney's fees, because if you watch this, I can tell you how you can avoid probate entirely. One of the great secrets about probate is if you do some good estate planning and you do some simple document preparation, there's no need to get a lawyer involved. And that may sound strange coming from a lawyer when I'm telling you I want to prevent you from paying me or any other lawyer in the state for that matter, attorney's fees in probate. And the reality is it's very simple to do. You spend a couple $100 to do some proper estate planning, get the accounts titled in the right way, get the real estate titled in the proper way, and you can avoid probate entirely. And again, that sounds kind of strange coming from a lawyer, right? I'm telling you, hey, don't hire me, don't hire some other lawyer. But the reality is it's really simple. So one of the things I think about in 25 years of doing this, when someone comes in with a massive probate problem, and sometimes these do cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions, if you can believe that, in attorney's fees, in almost every single case, those attorney's fees, that cost was totally avoidable, whether it's a small estate with a couple $100,000 in it, and certainly whether it's a multi-million-dollar estate. You know, one of the other interesting things about probate is very wealthy people oftentimes are able to avoid the court system entirely. How do they do this? Honestly, it's as simple for a guy with $5 million in a bank account as a guy with $50,000 in the bank account. You just sit down with a lawyer while your mind is healthy and fresh and you know what you're doing. You get the bank accounts titled in the proper way. You get the investment accounts titled in the proper way. You get the house that you're living in properly titled. And if you just do those simple things, it's a matter of a couple $1,000. You don't need any of this stuff. You can just move on from here. So part of the lesson here is watch this so that you can avoid probate. But if you're going down the probate route, and the reality is there are tens of thousands of people in any given year that are doing this in the state of Florida, and of those tens of thousands, there are thousands that become highly contested. But this whole site is going to give you the gamut of things, and what I'm really excited most about is a site that I'm going to pop in here, floridarules.net. It's going to walk you through absolutely every single rule that applies to Florida probate and give you an explanation of each one of them. Now, rules and how they are deployed. Rules are tools. If you're an experienced practitioner doing it 25 years, you know how to deploy them. One of the problems with rules and one of the problems with people relying on AI, I encourage it. I hope people use it because it can help to give you an idea. But the strategy here, the key point is that a guy like me that's been doing this 25 plus years knows the difference between what the rule says, or what you think it says, and how it actually applies in court. But my whole objective here is to demystify everything for you, to democratize, to allow consumers to understand the practice of law, what lawyers are, because I think that's a key function of our professional responsibility, right? Lawyers get a bad rap a lot of times, for good reason in many cases. But the point of this is to democratize, to give it to you, to show you a good representation of what the practice of law is and our ethical and professional responsibilities of being informed. And if you choose to go it alone in court, and you can do that. That's another demystification issue here. If you want to go in court and do your probate for your mom alone, you can do it. Hardly many things that you can screw up so badly that you can't recover from. But there are going to be those subset of people out there that really need good advice. That's when you hire a lawyer. So floridarules.net and the Florida probate procedure is what you're going to be relying on primarily. There's a link right in there. And then if you just kind of cruise down every one of those, every single issue you could conceivably need is going to be buried right there within. So buckle up, lay on the line.